Hello, Sharpies. I'm Lemon Pound Cake.
And I'm Pepper Stevens.
And this is Steel Sharpen Steel. We decided that we were going to take things a little bit in a different direction because there's always an undercurrent of universal
Nonsense. Mhm.
confusion with the current occupant. And so what we decided is that we would try to focus today's show more so on joyful moments
Yeah.
of celebration. And so that's what we decided we were going to try to do because there is a lot of stuff to actually be excited about in terms of the world. Even though gas prices are escalating, the closest gas station to me, to my office where I park my car for premium gas in California is $6.39.
Oh my God. Oh my God. But
So because of
yeah.
this excursion of choice, that is what the money is costing
And
for.
since we're talking about celebrations, I do want to have a quick little celebration for the current champ for today of getting in here early, Michael Bartlett. When I tell y'all it was a photo finish, when we set up the show, pop, 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 like ba-da-da. Matter of fact, all four of these comments are at the same timestamp, all four of them. But like I said, it was a photo finish. Michael Bartlett just edged out Anthony this week. It's
And
amazing.
if I can make a comparison to another rattler who edged out a competitor in a foot race,
Mm.
Michael Bartlett is the rattler, and he surpassed Anthony, who was coming in wearing a Grambling shirt. And Mike scoonched right past out there. So it was an excellent thing to see. I was on the 405 setting up the show, and so I was not aware of who actually was in the lead. But why do you all look like a reel? Oh, if you were watching on your phone, this is a bonus. We've been doing this actually for almost a month now, Cecily. So we are now available in the vertical format for people who are watching on their phones, which has helped us get a little bit more engagement. So let your friends know you can watch Steel Sharpen Steel the tall way or the wide way. You can do
I
it
like
either
that. I like that. The tall way or the wide way.
or the wide way.
Just watch either way.
Exactly. So among the many stories that happened this week, obviously since our last show, it was the Oscars. So I'm gonna let you lead off, Joy.
Yes. Thank you.
What did you? Well, first of all, did you watch the broadcast?
I did not watch the broadcast because I don't have access to any of the television channels. But
Ah,
my best friend Erica watched the broadcast. And so she
ah,
was live texting me what was going on. Like, we won this, we didn't win. Because that's all I cared about. And then
right,
I
exactly.
caught all the speeches and everything else on YouTube, like, that night or the next day. But I have to say, one thing I did like, and it's funny because, Black people, we're going to be Black no matter what. All of the tweets, posts, threads, etc., that I saw before the Oscars started, it said, first of all, I don't care what the Oscars say. We know we all we got. We don't care who wins or whatever. It's
Right.
whatever. You know how they do. Like, so many posts like that. Like, these are our boys. These are our people. We know this is the best movie ever. We don't care what it say. But then when they started winning, oh, he won best. This best that. Oh, he won. And then when Michael Jordan won his Oscar, like, there was it. You remember when Obama won the first time? People was running out.
Mm-hmm.
It was that level of excitement, right?
Yeah, it was amazing, and I've told the story on the show before. We were with a bunch of friends at a friend's house the night of the election because we're in California, and we knew that California. I mean, once those 54 votes go, that was going to be it.
Right.
And so we were sitting there when they closed the polls, and Barack Obama's projected to win, and we were just screaming. They had 5-year-old kids. Our kids were with us. I mean, it was a whole thing. And so when that happened, and Pedro Pascal was like shaking the shit out of his shoulder, and like Delroy hopped up immediately, and they were hugging Ryan Coogler and da 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 da. I will say I was live booking the
Okay.
Oscars. I was kind of doing double duty because I was doing one thing, but also watching and posting and all that other sort of stuff. So I knew that Coogler was going to get Best Original Screenplay. I mean, that was
Yeah, Michael B going to In and Out afterwards was hilarious.
Well, and apparently I didn't know this, and I live in LA, so it's kind of crazy that I didn't know this. But that is the In and Out that's right across from the theater. And so apparently it is a tradition that winners go to that In and Out, which is why there were so many people there
ready,
there to see who was going to come through. And when it turned out to be him, and of course there were people already there with lights and everything to get to the moment. But I knew Coogler was going to win. That was kind of a given for me. I was not surprised that we got Score. I knew
we weren't going to win. I knew Sinners wasn't going to win Best Song because don't hate me, Black people. It wasn't. It wasn't the best song.
You know what? I'm glad you said it because hot take. I Lied to You is not a great song. It was a great experience in the movie.
But
watching all of those people on stage do that stuff, visually intriguing. Misty Copeland, fabulous. All those dancers, all that, but the song is not a song. You can't.
The song doesn't carry the same weight without the imagery.
Right.
Well, you got to have all of that happening at the same time. Right.
How are you walking through the grocery store singing "Take Me"? Just there's like 6 words to that song. It's just not a great song.
What I did end up going through the grocery store singing was "We're going up, up, up." This
the golden song.
Gonna be golden. Yep.
Well, and it's from a movie called K-Pop Demon Hunter, so you know it's going to have good music. And again, there's a reason why most of these best songs are songs that either so emotionally take you in, but if you can't sing the song,
right?
It's why Whitney Houston, two bangers off the Bodyguard soundtrack, but nobody could get past the fact that I Will Always Love You wasn't available. And so maybe if they had picked one of the songs,
it would have won.
The one song might have won. If they, in both Run to You and I Have Nothing, I don't know how you choose between those songs, which is, I guess, why they put both of them up. But ultimately, it cost them the Oscar. And in this year, I was like, Ludwig's gonna win. Because
you know what? I can tell you the moment he had that Oscar in the bag when she struck that match. That's it. Don't say nothing else to nobody for the rest of the year because that is an Oscar-winning moment.
So here's my question, because I thought a much better song, as far as songs go, is the song that played over the closing credits, the duet song.
You mean for Sinners?
For Sinners. In Sinners, the song that they played after Staps comes. That one, the last time, and it's a soaring song. It's a real song that sounds like a song. It's not like a blues riff that turns into 7 minutes of improv. And so that song touched me.
Yes.
And it communicated so many things. It was like Annie and Smoke and Stack and Mary and Sammy and Perlene. It was like all of that interplay between all of the relationships that we saw rise and fall during the course of the movie. And so that song, I sat through every time I saw the movie, I sat through just to hear that song.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really legitimately a better choice. I understand why they submitted I Lied to You.
Right.
And nothing was going to be golden anyway.
From a chess standpoint, nothing was beating golden. Nothing.
Right.
And so from a checkers not chess standpoint, I'm glad that they used or picked I Lied to You.
I Lied to You.
Allowed them to recreate that moment. Otherwise, you got Miles Catton on a
stage by himself.
Yeah. Right. And you don't get to make everybody watch that scene.
So this is the one thing that particular song performance said to me. Sinners, the Broadway musical.
Everybody's like, Sinners going to Broadway. Like, I'm not.
I just don't know how you don't. He has Grammys. Now he has an Oscar. Go on ahead and get you a Tony, bro, because you got X-Files for your Emmy. So let's just make it happen.
Be that EGOT dude. Right.
Be the E, and you got Golden Globes. So you just need, if you got the MacArthur Genius Grant, you'd have, because right now it's Lin-Manuel. Lin-Manuel is the EGOT plus.
Yeah.
So if you get, I just don't, just put it on Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners on Broadway. First of all them people will have jobs.
Yup.
That is a musicale. You just need to add 2-3 songs, give Annie a song.
Yeah. And so giving Annie and Smoke a song reminiscent, not as upbeat, but you remember, Blues Brothers. You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, something along those lines, except maybe slow it down a little bit. Like how you bringing yourself back up in here. Who you think held you down all these years? Like, yes, that's a song. There's something in there.
They need to have a song at the Apothecary that starts with the passion that leads to their lovemaking and maybe ends with the baby or something like that to tell their story. And then Mary needs a song about how Stack left her.
Yes, she needs a song about how Stack left her, and it plays out on the train station. But then I need a say no to this moment between Stack and Mary when she's about to bite him. Right, say no to this. Yeah, I need that right there.
And I mean, you've got a lot of the stuff is already in place, and so many of these musicals that are being put up these days are jukebox musicals anyway. Right. I think of the musical & Juliet, which I enjoyed and tremendously, even though the songs are like 90s, pop songs for Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys and all that. But the sister, it was a young sister who was playing Juliet, and her voice was phenomenal. And that's without having the literal story that exists in Sinners. So before even Rocky Road to Dublin, which of course is it's already set to be a major stage performance. Yeah. But now you can flesh it out a little. You can give me some of Remic's backstory.
Right, because when you don't have to hold it down
lands in the house. Right. When he lands in the house with the white folks before he turns them, maybe he gets to tell his tale before he kills them. Yeah, but there's so many things that you could do with this because he doesn't want to do a sequel. So don't do a sequel. Let Zinzi produce the stage musical.
However, I still want it to be where the Choctaw deuce us out. Like
absolutely.
I don't want them to have a song. Not that I don't love them, but I don't want, because people have been clamoring for a backstory, and I want him to be like, no. Even in the musical,
backstory is
they gonna come in and be like, deuces.
They knew he was fixing to eat people. That's the backstory. They tried to tell your dumbass.
They were saying, like, people keep wondering how come they didn't come back, how come they do this. This whole movie takes place in 24 hours. It got dark, and they were like, we're not fighting in the dark because we understand what's about to happen. We'll come back tomorrow when the sun comes out. Right?
We tried to tell you.
Now, hey, good luck. They had no idea that one vampire was going to end up at the juke joint, right? Because they found him.
No, remember, they didn't know about the juke, right?
Right, they didn't know. All they know is it's the vampire in there. This white lady won't let us in. Deuces. Good luck to you.
Well, and I heard what I consider to be a trash review, but there was a point that was made because there was a person talking about how trash the review was, and he made a point about when Remick attacked those people because the husband was in the Klan, they were going to the juke joint.
Yeah.
And when he sucked their memories, that's why he knew it was going to be a lot of black people at the juke joint, he didn't know about Sammy.
Right.
But he knew about the juke joint because he knew that the KKK was going there to do something. So he knew something was happening. And then Sammy's magic pulled him in even more. Right. But Sinners, the musical, would be amazing. It would be, it would have a Lion King, a Julie Taymor Lion King run on Broadway. There's just no way that isn't a built-in, and you wouldn't even have to do that much because the juke joint is really the centerpiece. You could have one of those open architecture stages where the street grocery store is
and then turn it around and it's the juke joint.
Yeah, and the next thing, and the apothecary is in one little spot. The church is another thing. You already have the beautiful cinematography of the other award, and that was another one that kind of I was pleasantly surprised. I knew we weren't going to win production design because Frankenstein was just so big and sprawling, it was just too much to expect that all of the other films, which are more or less set in reality, even though you're, reinventing 1950s New York with Marty Supreme. More on that later. Put a pin in it.
Before you go any further, though,
yeah,
this would be a nice clip to be like, "Hey, Ryan,
oh yeah,
we got it all done for you, bro. Just do this."
So so here we are. Ryan Coogler, open letter to you. Sinners, the musical. Secure that Tony, bro. You and your wife set it off, get it together, make that happen. I'm telling you, this is the easiest thing you've possibly ever done. You got the team in place. Let the cinematographer help out with the staging. Do what you got to do.
And let them continue to make this money.
Sinners,
get you some wicked money,
bro.
right?
This is your children's legacy. Clip that. So there we go. That's free. That's free from Steel Sharp and Steel. Tom and Joy. We're telling you, you got to see it. And my cousin is the artistic director of Center Stage in DC. You could probably do it there in DC.
Yo, you know what would be marvelous would be if they did pull that off, and its first showing was at the Obama Presidential Center.
Ooh,
yeah,
in Chicago.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have a venue. Do they have a big auditorium in there?
They got something.
Yeah, that's a nice idea. So again, Michelle and Barack, I'm sure they'd be happy to have y'all. Click that. So that was the piece of the Oscar. The production was the last Oscar, and won for the first time. Cinematography won by a woman
and a black woman at that.
Well, she identifies as a person of color. They've been cagey on that. So
look, won by a woman. Yes,
yeah, she
blackish.
She black just by virtue of being affiliated with Sinners.
Right.
Ludwig gets a pass. So
right. Go on,
she
give him some cornrows and let it happen.
Yeah. So those 4 Oscars, and again, I knew for sure that they weren't going to be Color Purple, because Color Purple got all them nominations, didn't win a single one.
Right. But also you got to understand the times, because Color Purple got all those nominations because it felt good to nominate it and it was the right thing to do. But then because it got nominated so many times, most people said, well, they'll win something else. And they didn't win anything.
Didn't vote for anything.
And they made sure. I mean, I'm not saying they made sure, because Sinners deserved everything that they got, and a couple of others, to be honest, because Best Supporting Actor should have gone to Delroy Lindo.
Yeah. I mean, that's the let's talk about the disappointments.
Yeah.
I will say that my takeaway from the Oscars is that I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
I hoped, especially for Delroy Lindo, I hoped for Wunmi Mosaku. I hoped. I knew the writing was on the wall. And then to consider that Weapons really wasn't that good a film. That's true, Cecily.
Yeah.
Weapons wasn't that great. Now, Amy Madigan was definitely a bright spot. She definitely dominated the film.
Yeah, she's all I can remember from the film. And I'm not going to take it away from her, because I hated her so much. Like, I wanted to fight I wanted to yell at the screen. So she definitely pulled something out of you in a movie that you're sitting there the whole time like, the fuck is going on? She really, and I think because the movie is such a mess, people are like, how did she get? But she did do her job. No,
she did her job. I mean, the scene on Off Rip, I consider the 2 most impactful scenes between Amy Madigan in Weapons and Wunmi Mosaku in Sinners. So I think there were 2 scenes in Sinners for Wunmi when Smoke comes back and they're at the apothecary, and she taps the bag on his chest and say, well, how you know
I haven't been praying for you this whole time.
We're protecting you the whole time. And then his heart breaks and he says, why didn't it save our baby? And I was like, damn. So there was that scene, but then there was also cornbread scene. Those were the big, super huge Annie scenes for me. And then the scene that absolutely cemented Amy Madigan's win for me was when she was at the principal's house.
Yes.
That was the scene where I was like, oh, wow.
Right.
Because, and then when
I feel like she was crazy in real life.
Yeah, no, that was when she snapped that twig and he said, Gurk! And then just started attacking his husband. I was like, oh, wow. vomited the black stuff, and then he just went out, and that was a lot. But that movie, there was nothing to that movie without her. And
right. So when your supporting actress carries the movie, there's something to be said for
was
that.
she the supporting actress? That's my thing. I know it was an ensemble.
You might want it to have been best actress.
I mean, I just don't think there were any lead actors in the movie, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. So, but anyway, I had definitely hoped for Delroy because Sean Penn has won before, and Sean Penn twice before last Sunday, and he never shows up. So it's like, well, why not honor the man who's there? Like,
well, we don't give attendance awards, but I do think
I understand, but I'm saying who was worthy and was there.
Yeah. But Delroy didn't win because white people don't understand black people.
Well,
and they don't understand and also understanding what was him and what was, on the lines on the paper. Because like that whole improvised scene that he fought to keep in the movie, which is the scene that everybody's like, this is what he should
everybody remembers.
If you don't understand black people, you don't understand how powerful that is. And so folks watch it and they go, okay, so he's humming and you don't get that he was feeling it right then and there. And that was a real moment that was caught on camera. Yeah.
Right. But other than that, I mean, obviously the two prizes that people are in their feelings the most about were Best Director and Best Picture.
Yeah. And now Best Director, Coogler wasn't going to win it, and he knew he wasn't going to win it. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not that he didn't deserve it. It's because they're not going to let somebody who bucked the system win that award.
Right. Which is why I think that pressed against Best Picture too, because Best Picture is the category that everybody can vote on. So you had a lot of producers who were like, I didn't get that deal. Click.
Right. Iteration in the dancery.
There was a bit of hate going on there.
Right.
But
which again, we didn't need their validation because we know what the Best Picture was. And like somebody said, people are still talking about Sinners and creating college classes around it and whatnot. And can't nobody really tell you what. Nobody watched One Battle After Another more than once. Like nobody was going back to the theater over and over and over again to see One Battle After Another, or even talk about it really, other than the black women that I've seen that said the movie was trash.
Yeah, and I do disagree. I'm gonna push back a little bit about that. I understand that a lot of people took exception to Teyana getting the attention in that movie because of Perfidia Beverly Hills' portrayal, and I had a different take on it because a lot of it, she's pulling a Halle Berry, just sleeping with a white man, and da 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 da. I said, she was a revolutionary woman who was using her sexual power. That's what she was to me. And so I didn't take it that she did what she felt she had to do in that moment. And there were a lot of horrible choices made by a lot of different characters in that movie, but I appreciated
both were. Whose character was critical to the movement of the story? Both.
I think both were.
Annie. Yeah, and I forgot that that's why he doesn't show up.
Right.
So there, it's a values abstention. So yeah, I get that.
But I mean, not being better than any of the nominees. I mean, I guess then reject the nomination. I guess if that's the way you want to look at it, let somebody else have a chance. I mean, I don't know if you can even reject a nomination, but I mean, the point is that if that's your position, especially now that you already have 3, I don't need any more. Honor somebody else. I mean, it just is what it is. But for me, I enjoyed One Battle After Another, not nearly as much as Sinners. To your point, I've seen Sinners in the theater 5 times. Plus, I've now watched it at least 2 times at home. So, but I appreciated the timeliness of it, especially given who's the president right now. And I appreciated the revolutionary message. I appreciated that various communities of revolutionary, the nuns who were growing weed to fund the revolution, that whole town that Benicio del Toro was in, where they had like the whole infrastructure of the kids on skateboards and the this and the that and the secret passages and all that. I appreciated that messaging, and I appreciated that Leonardo DiCaprio's character had the arc that he had, and I loved the daughter character and the actor who, you know, made her debut in that film. So there was a lot for me to appreciate as a work of art. And I do like a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson's other films. So I get it. You know, he's been doing it a long time and has gotten a lot of acclaim, but never got an Oscar. And so I feel this was probably a little
collective Oscar for him.
Yeah, it was kind of a makeup for a bunch of things.
And Coogler will be back because he is an excellent.
Absolutely, he's going to be back. I mean, no question. And so, you know, Black Panther 3 is one of the very few MCU films post Secret Wars that has already been greenlit. Apparently, they're saying that Damson Idris has kind of confirmed that he's going to be T'Challa, which I think is great. They're saying it's more or less confirmed because the idea is he's probably going to be introduced in Secret Wars as probably an age-advanced T'Challa. Because that's the way they're going with it, which is fine. Because you can't now not have that kid be the new Black Panther. So it's got to be Dr. Doom steals him and matures him so that he can have a part to play in his whatever. And that's fine. Because everybody wants Damson Idris, and everybody wants Damson Idris to be baby T'Challa grown up. And that's the only way you can do it. Magic. So, you know, Coogler, Black Panther 3 is not going to be the thing that gets him his Best Director Oscar. But he's young. He is so young, and he is so talented.
He is batting 1,000. He hasn't done a bad movie. And I love what I heard him say. When somebody asked him, did he think Sinners was his best movie ever? And he answered, the answer was so good. He's like, I make the best movie I can make at the time. He goes, I was young when I did this. When I did Fruitvale Station, I was barely, you know, I was fresh out of school, film school, and everything. He goes, and that was the best movie I could make at the time. And then this, and Black Panther was the best movie I could make at the time. And he goes, and this is the best movie that I could make right now. And so not pigeonholing himself in anything, not letting people make him compare his art to each other. But just like also the work ethic, I always give you the best I can do at the time. And Sinners, I don't think it's going to be a thriller type situation where you ain't gonna never be better than that. I don't think that one scene will ever be matched. But I actually believe that Coogler's going to come back out with something else that's going to blow our minds, you know, because how does he not?
And I love the end of that statement that you laid out, which is that's for y'all now. I've given you the work. You all decide what you think is the best, but it's not for me to say. And that just showed a maturity that I really appreciated. He's just phenomenally talented. And I was happy. And like I said on Facebook, not because I crave the validation of the Oscars, but he beat them. Yeah. The work was so undeniable that he won. And when you think about the Oscars won by his films. So, you know, Ruthie Carter winning costume design. Ludwig has won 2 other Oscars for different films of his, you know, and $2 billion in box office over 5 films. 5 films.
And that's a good point,
$2 billion.
I do hope that he gets to continue working with his homies. Like, he got a crew. You know?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, can you imagine Michael Jordan ever saying no to Ryan Coogler?
No.
That's never happening.
No.
So it's just wonderful to see how it worked out. And I don't know if you saw, there was some off-camera footage. Some people in the audience were like shooting. And after Michael left stage, DiCaprio was there, and he had this long emotional hug with DiCaprio. And so it was really cool, like a passing of the torch sort of moment or whatever. But I watched the Oscars. I didn't feel it dragged. Was not a fan of Conan O'Brien. I did not think he was good. I thought the one sketch that
we've done 30 minutes on this though, so we gotta.
Oh, we do have to move on. Sorry. Okay, so thank you for doing a chin check, people. Did I have a one? I wasn't sure if I had a one video about the Oscars to show, and I do not, so it's fine. So the next topic that we wanted to talk about, which is thank you, Cecily. The other topic that we teased in the actual name of the show is Afroman. Afroman won. So I'm just going to play this video just to kick us off into this topic.
Outside this Adams County courthouse, the sound of victory. after jury sided with the musician Afroman, whose real name is Joseph Foreman, after a days-long civil defamation trial. Afroman speaking to WCPO right after the verdict.
I didn't win. America won. America still has freedom of speech. It's still for the people, by the people.
The jury finds in favor of the defendant.
7 Adams County Sheriff's deputies sued the musician. They argued Afroman used security video from a 2022 raid of his home and put it in music videos using deputies' likeness without permission.
There's damage to reputation, there's pain and suffering, there's public humiliation. There's everything you saw and heard from these detectives from the witness stand.
This raid taking place nearly 4 years ago following search warrants related to possession and trafficking in drugs and kidnapping. The rapper was never charged. Along with using the surveillance video in multiple music videos, including in the song Lemon Pound Cake, the deputies also say Afroman called them thieves and pedophiles, among other things, on social media.
I didn't go down here and sue the police department. I fixed up the damages they made, and I sung songs about them to raise money to do it. They were unapologetic.
The deputies wanted Afroman to pay $3.9 million in damages.
We got about
$3.9 million in damages.
3.9. Come on. Give us, son. You weren't getting that. And listen, did y'all catch the marijuana ring he was putting the gold leaf? And so for those of you who are not aware, basically what happened is that these people, Afroman was not at his house, but he had his security, and they busted in the house and they were rummaging around, and the song Lemon Pound Cake came because he had a lemon pound cake in his kitchen, and there was this fat police officer who was eyeballing the lemon pound cake. And so that may have been the first song that he did. And he basically, he remixed the music of Under the Boardwalk to be Lemon Pound Cake. So it was
Mama's Recipe.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
Now there's another song that he did because there was a female with them.
Oh, Lick 'em Low, Lisa.
They did a really good job of he did a really good job on the stand of cutting her at the knees because she tried to claim, my children. He's like, yeah, like I was scared when you put that AR-15 in my face, in front of my
children's face.
Right. And so, but at some point the woman is getting ready to cut the feed and she's like kind of, making faces at the camera, and she does something like, and so he makes a song about her called Lick 'em Low.
Lick 'em Low, Lisa.
Lick 'em Low, Lisa. Talking about she went down on my wife, like, and so the whole thing is ridiculous. But if you hadn't been acting an ass in his house, he wouldn't have this footage. And it was conduct unbecoming of an officer. All of it was. So Y'all can miss me with the whole he hurt my reputation. You hurt your own reputation. If they had bust through there, searched the house, and left, he'd have just been like, dang, they searched my house and left. And maybe wrote a song about my house got broken into. But for y'all to cut up and act a fool in the house, y'all brought that on yourselves.
And took $4,000 in cash. And when he went to go get it, claimed that $400 had been kept out.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you're right, Phil. One of the cop's ex-wife testified on Afroman's behalf.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the other guys who he had a song about saying that he slept with the man's wife. Now, come to find out, this is the crazy part. So A, they're not actually married. They just been together since like middle school.
Mm-hmm.
The baby is biracial though. And so the lawyer was like, the guy's lawyer, the plaintiff's lawyer was like, was it false?
He said the townsfolk don't F with the police because they made T-shirts clowning them. People were sending that one fat cop pound cakes.
He said hundreds of pound cakes. Mm-hmm. So the plaintiff's lawyer asked the cop about the sleeping with the wife allegation. And he said, did that put you in false light? And he said, yes. And he said, because he alleged that he was sleeping with your wife. And he said, yes. And he said, and we all know that that's not true. And the guy said, I mean, I don't know. Because the daughter's biracial. He said his daughter is getting made fun of at school because the kids are saying Afroman slept with his mama. Oh,
Afroman is
God.
your daddy. I mean, maybe.
So it was very, very amusing.
Mhm.
And to see him in that flag suit, you know, because he had a bunch of
It's
different.
horrible,
He
but
had
awesome.
another suit with pictures of the cops. He had fabric made with the pictures of all the cops who broke into his house, and he was wearing that around town. And you know, one of the guys had to move. He picked up sticks and left town and moved a couple of towns over, and then got another job in law enforcement. So it's like you said, you reputational harm and blah 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 blah, but you got a job and then got a raise.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing, yeah, that's right.
Because he got high.
Because he got high. Do. So the other thing is that these people, these cops, by suing him, actually increase the views and the streams.
Right. So people are calling this another Streisand moment. Like they were so busy trying to say, don't look at the white horse in the corner, that everybody's like, did y'all know it was a white horse in the corner? Matter of fact, somebody earlier today was like, imagine the irony of being mad that everybody in town is laughing at you and then going on doing something that gets national notice. So now I'm down here in Atlanta laughing at you. And like, yeah.
And that's what literally people from Sweden, in Sweden, laughing, in Germany, laughing. And so it was just like, that's why this show, this was a Black Boy Joy moment, because I wasn't sure. There was a content creator who did, because it was a 3-day trial. And there was a content creator who was doing basically wrap-ups of each of the days. Mm-hmm. And one day with the, I don't know if he's sleeping with, that was one of her big things. And then the lemon pound cake dude was another of the things. And then the last day of her coverage was that he prevailed in the trial. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the universe aligns. Ryan Coogler gets a win and Afroman gets a win. And so that's all we can ask for sometimes in terms of making stuff happen. Segueing into another thing of Black people and the interneting and blacking. There is, I guess, a rapper. I had never heard of him, but he did this thing. He was talking about a woman.
Not the
yes, yes, that was deadly. He was dating this woman, and he had just gotten out of the pen, and so he was gonna bring some food to this woman's house, but because stuff was more expensive down yonder, the Piggly Wiggly or the Kroger or whatever, he went to the dollar store. Mm-hmm. and got some bread and some lunch meat and da 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 da. And so he brought it to old girl's house, and she was like, "My kids don't eat this junk." And so he started this whole thing where he said, "Cereal, no Merc. With the can Merc.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
And with the powder Merc. Waffles, no syrup. Jelly, no jelly." It turned into this whole thing. So then ultimately, because Black people be blacking, somebody made a remix.
Okay, you got the remix?
I do have the remix. So one of the things that I love about it is that it brought Arnez J's infamous dance routine back into consciousness. So let's just watch and enjoy the Merc, no Merc, the can Merc.
Cereal with the can Merc, the powder Merc, no Merc. Waffles, no syrup. Jelly, no jelly. Nothing. Oatmeal, no sugar. Oatmeal, no sugar. Nothing. I ate cereal with the can Merc, the powder Merc, no Merc. I ate cereal with the can Merc, the powder Merc. Nothing. I ate cereal with the can Merc, the powder Merc, no Merc. I ate cereal with the can Merc, the powder Merc, no Merc. Waffles, no syrup. Jelly, no jelly.
That is a banger. That is a
I
banger. And
mean,
yes, I always love RNSJ's Uncle dance. So I'm glad they
oh
did
my
put that back
gosh,
in rotation.
where
But
he
yeah, the
pulls that
Interblacks,
belt.
the Blackinettes, or however you want to put it, is unmatched and undefeated. And will never be defeated because even even when other people are making their little content and whatnot, they use Black people sound effects.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
every time. I see it all day, every day because I'm chronically online. But I love stuff like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was one of those things where I didn't see the original video first. I saw somebody who had remixed the song with his lyrics, and I didn't understand what the hell was going on because I'd never seen this person before. And it starts off with him just doing the with all those fronts, and I was like, what is this? And then when I stumbled upon this with the RNSJ, I said, whoever thought of that music, I mean, it just worked so perfectly.
It's so good. And then Michael Jackson always on beat.
Come on.
Always. I love
Michael, always. Speaking of which, Michael the movie is coming out. More joy.
I've heard it's his nephew, right? I've heard his nephew has done a good job. Yeah.
I hear it. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks amazing. And so it's kind of crazy seeing the nephew having to have a prosthetic original Jackson nose added to his face, only for it to come off later. But the popcorn buckets that AMC has announced, they have the Thriller jacket as a popcorn bucket with no sleeves. So it's like the torso of the Thriller jacket.
The red Thriller jacket.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then they have a drink with a drink topper of Michael Jackson doing the classic, like the Billie Jean, boom, chat, boom, where he's doing the hip thrust thing.
Yeah.
His hand off to the side with the glove and the legs
iconic
laid out.
Yeah.
So I know I'm gonna be getting both of them because I'm definitely gonna go see that movie. But the what is happening this year in terms of Black folks enjoying themselves and seeing themselves portrayed in ways that are inspirational and amazing and inspiring is just peak. And so, yes, I think it is Jermaine's son. Come on, Anthony. Just get the Powder Merc song and do your moonwalk for us.
Jelly, no jam, waffles, no syrup. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, nothing. It's just kudos. That was peak. Again, you said the Blackinettes. Well, so here's the thing. AMC is doing the Thriller one, but some of the, like, I think it's Cinemark has the hat. They're doing a fedora popcorn bucket.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the glove can't hold enough of anything. It could be the glove on the fedora that you could put popcorn in, but the glove itself is not big enough to hold anything. So
without looking
the glove
like
on the cup.
Yeah, the glove on the cup would have been cool. And I gotta say, I appreciate them stepping up their popcorn bucket again because you charged me $10 for this popcorn one way or another. I might as well get it $12 and get a commemorative thing because they used to just be, a 10 popcorn bucket with a screen of like X-Men or whatever on it. Now there's a purse for Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yes,
that is really cute. They've done some cute things like Lilo and Stitch, and now they're pulling it away from just kid stuff into adult movies. Which, make that money because otherwise I'm sneaking food in.
Well, and the Yoshi popcorn bucket is like a full-on Yoshi.
Wait, there's a Jerry
belly
curl?
Opens up. Oh, there's a Jerry curl one. See, I'm just AMC. I'm only gonna get what AMC has.
Or maybe he's putting a Jericho wig on for
definitely the drink topper. Definitely, he's got a Jerry curl on it because it's during the Billie Jean day. For sure that has it. But I don't know where you're getting a $12 popcorn bucket from. I guess they do that in Atlanta because it's $29 out here for any of the really fancy ones.
Yeah, it's expensive, no matter what.
But
you do.
Again, as far as memorabilia is concerned, I'm fine with it. I don't mind. I'm on A-list, so I'm not paying for an individual movie anyway. I always get my A-list money worth, so I don't mind paying, $29 one time a month for a movie that I really care about and I want to support. So I got all of the Center stuff. I got both of the Center's buckets. I got the Center's cups, and then I went back when it was re-released. I went and got the Sinners. There's a guitar case popcorn thing.
Oh, cool.
So I
see
got
that
that
one.
too.
Mm.
Yeah, that was only for the re-release.
Okay.
And chances are it's going to get another re-release because ain't nobody going back to the theater to see one battle after another. But
Exactly. But we'll be
they'll
back.
see
We'll go
Sinners.
back to, because there are still people that haven't seen Sinners. I was with my
for sure.
videographer yesterday, and we were talking about everything, and he was happy for the movie. And I was like, I said, and then something about the way that he was kind of low key about it. I was like, have you seen Sinners? He's like, nah, I didn't see it. I said, well, how come you haven't seen it? He goes, well, the name, first of all. Now I wanted to be like, bruh, I'm gonna need you to get over that bullshit.
I mean,
Right.
seriously.
And so I just gave him a quick, he's like, I was like, is it the vampire thing? He's like, no, just the name, you know, like, why are we watching Sinners? Okay, so first of all, and you know how you have a vibe about somebody that you're like, nah, I'm good, you know, when they might show a touch of interest. Years ago, the 2019, I was like, nah, I'm good. Right. And now I know why, because that's such a stupid take.
Ugh, brother.
Brother,
What's that?
what is that, brother? Yeah.
But also,
but there's still a lot of people, even in the Black community, that because they don't like scary movies or because they're too deep into their religion, have not seen that movie, and they're missing a piece of history.
but here's the thing. Every church, every Sunday is full of sinners. It's not a church service, a Black church service, certainly not a Black church service with a decent sized congregation, where you don't have somebody doing a testimony every Sunday.
Right.
Talking about their sin.
Right.
That's the whole point.
How they got saved from crack.
Right. If you think that the movie Sinners is a glorification of sin.
Right.
I mean, Google.
And if you haven't taken the time in the last year and a half to examine what the movie was about, or even read any of the reviews, or even talk to anybody, because you have that shutdown. I have just as much problem with that as I do with, you know, all the other places where people quit listening and quit paying attention. You know, you let your irrational thoughts and fears get in the way of making your life better, because Sinners is an amazing movie, especially because the person that was saying this to me is a good decade older than me. And so I'm like, you would have really felt this, you know? You really missing out. As someone that probably at least started elementary school or whatever in a segregated school, you really missing this connection. So yeah, hopefully he'll watch it on whatever streaming service it's on.
HBO.
HBO, yeah.
Or it's folded into Paramount Plus, which we've talked about some very positive stuff, and I definitely do want to keep it positive, but I do think that there is and see, Mike, this is exactly why. I do want to bring up this video that I got. Thank you. Because it's a lot of people's water that looks like Katrina water. Oh Chan. But this is a statement. This kind of speaks to what Mike just posted about Americans being willfully ignorant. And so this is the one piece of not explicitly Black boy joy that I have for the show today.
Hey folks, Old Texas Paul here. You know the difference between a Republican and a Democrat? There really is one thing that just really separates us, and that's this. We know Donald Trump is a gross pig of a human being. You know Donald Trump is a gross pig of a human being. The difference between a Republican and a Democrat is simple. We hate him for it. You love him for it.
That's exactly it. That is exactly it. There's really no getting around that.
Ain't no getting around it. And it was so succinct and so on the money. It's like I'd never contextualized it in that exact thing. But it's what's in your personal spirit that is the real exactly.
You can hear it. Wow.
Wow. Speaking of singing, because I think this does kind of qualify in terms of Black boy joy, or Black boy and joy. We know that Kristi Noem was fired.
Right.
I think we probably talked about that last week.
Right. And we also know that she's a bird-legged hoe.
Yeah, we know she's a bird-legged hoe. That's right. And then Mark Wayne Mullen was selected as the replacement. And I don't know if it was on the show or if it was on another show that I do. I was commenting on how I can't call him Mark Wayne because it's one name. It's not a dash or anything. It's not Mark Wayne. It's
Yeah.
Mark Wayne. And so to me, that's Mark Wayne.
Yeah.
That sounds like a mother from East St. Louis naming her child when she's not sure which baby daddy is the actual father. So you just gonna call him Mark Wayne. And so when I first said Mark Wayne, it made me think of the Erykah Badu classic Tyrone.
Okay.
And so he was tired of her shit, all her Christy Corey nonsense. So don't boat it on. When it's time to replace her, he tried to pick someone who wouldn't shoot citizens. I think you better call Mark Wayne. Call him. The problem is that Rand Paul thinks you're lame. And so you're not going to get confirmed, I don't think.
Rand Paul went so hard at him. He really was like, yo, you down try to say it to my motherfucking face. I'm right here. Say it. I double dog dare you.
Like me. And had the nerve to say that his proposed assault of that person in that hearing was justified under the rules of dueling.
And he's like, dueling hasn't been legal for 180 years. What are you talking about?
What are you saying? And somebody else said, can you assure
Fetterman
us?
Fetterman ain't shit for that. Yeah, he did give his vote.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, he is a thumb, a dumb thumb, and would not swear that he would not deploy ICE at election sites.
Right, because that's always been the plan.
That should have been a real easy answer.
That has always been the plan. They tested a few places in 2024. The same way them trying to get the governor of Michigan was a test run for storming the Capitol. Like they tested out and they're trying to see if we're gonna let it happen. Right.
Right. It's
right. How dare you accuse him of being violent? He will fight you.
And get this, he was the guy that came out hardest against Matt Gaetz. That's the same guy who was saying Matt Gaetz was showing us videos and talking about how he used to crush Viagra and go all night and Red Bull and all this stuff. So back then I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's a person who, but no, you can't depend on any Republican to act like a human being.
Act right. No. Because they always it's either always in it something personal in it for them or something personal somebody's holding against them that is going to cause them to do the wrong thing at every single turn.
Right.
Always plotting to preserve power. Always.
Yeah, he. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I think there's a lot of weight that Trump has lost.
This is an insult to bipolar people because I know several bipolar folks got way more sense than them. Now they might be schizophrenic potentially, which might make more sense. Paranoid schizophrenic to be specific. You don't need to ICE at sites. They can easily control the roadways. Simple tactic. Yep. Stop giving them ideas, Phil, because they're not smart enough to think of that.
Right. That was pretty good.
Okay.
So Joy, what else do you have? I just ate a little piece of chocolate cake. What else do you have for the people?
I wanted to touch on something that I've been seeing. This is not a commercial, but it's going to sound like one. I'm like I said, I'm chronically online and I'm on Threads all the time. And there's this thing that is happening on Threads right now where good men, because there's always this argument of not all men, harass and blah, 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 blah. And so women have been saying, particularly Black women have been saying, if it's not all men, why don't you check your brothers that are harassing women? And so several men, I think the first one is a former soldier. but several men have just decided that they're going to start harassing other men in comment sections. And so, they go hard with it. Like, it's not some, hey, come fight me. They are sexually harassing men in comment sections, the way men like to get into especially a Black woman's comments. You know, something as simple as this Black woman said, I don't know about y'all, but I really don't like pressure cookers. So, you know, that's just me. And then all these people coming to like call her all kind of N-words and B's and all that, just because, look, and she's like, mind your business. I was just talking to Black people. Like, she even titled it like Black Threads. So it would go to Black people. And then here they come with something to say. And so.
About a pressure cooker?
Well, she's always, she can do no right as far as they're concerned. She's already had a lot of run-ins. And I think she's one of the people that stopped that woman that called the little Black girl the N-word, and then they were raising the GoFundMe for her. And she stopped that GoFundMe through her. So her and a few other people online get harassed all the time. So this guy, I want to say his name is like C.O. Kimball, Charles Kimball, I think, might be his whole name, but I forget his handle. But he'll, like, somebody might say, you know, you wouldn't be so bad if you had a dick in your mouth or something like that. Like, people say these things to her all the time. So he comes through, he goes, yeah, you would know about that, wouldn't you? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and bend over and let me slide this right on up. And yes, when I tell you he is sexually harassing men online, and then other men caught on to it. And so now there's a gang of like maybe 20 guys that just goes around saying the most raunchy, ridiculous, hey, why don't you gargle my nut? Like, all kind of nonsense online to other guys. And now they want to say that there need to be stricter rules around harassment online. And so now women are like, oh, so it was fine when we were getting harassed and told to, you know, get raped with a cactus, because somebody actually said that the other day. You know, and make me bleed and all this kind of stuff, to a woman that just finished having like a very high risk pregnancy. Like, why y'all can't just leave Black women alone? Why wishing for her death, right? So all of that was, well, it's free speech, blah, blah, blah. But then when men, particularly white men, get like vulgarly sexually harassed online, now you have a problem. And so
I think they better call Mark Twain.
Yup. So I've been loving
crazy.
That. Yeah.
No, that's and shout out to the brothers who are showing solidarity. There was another along similar lines. There was some white content producer, some blonde girl, and she was talking about you know, hey, Black women, all Black men want to upgrade to a white girl. You know, Black men, just come over here to the white girls. You know, you know this is what you want. And she got ratioed to death by brothers talking about, I don't know what you talk about. I'm good with my Black sisters. Always, you know, snow bunnies never, Black women forever. All of it. I mean, just like da 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 da. And that's the sort of righteousness that we need for our own internal culture to maintain. And so there's you're right, Michael.
I'm telling y'all, man, did Hancock teach you nothing? Like, just stay away from them. They will ruin you.
The blonde woman, literal kryptonite to Hancock. Charlize Theron, literal kryptonite.
I remember when that movie came out, folks were like, what's it about? I was like, it's about snow bunnies and how you shouldn't be around. Don't be around white women because they get you killed. Like, that's exactly what it is. Stay off the slopes. And
with a co-writing credit from Dr. Umar Johnson.
Right?
So that's probably his favorite movie. So we're looking forward to the next thing that Coogler is going to bring to us. I think that's probably X-Files.
I heard that. Yeah, that's in the works already, I believe.
Yeah, and so probably pre-production ramping up on Black Panther 3, and then we'll see. We'll see what comes after that. But let's go on ahead and get that Emmy with the X-Files. And once again, just to close out the show, Sinners, I Lied to You. That's the musical.
Yes.
I Lied to You. And you can have that up next week.
Right, because there's so many places, and half the cast now. Miles Catton, and that was another thing that was going around, is like people realizing his name is Catton and not Canton, because people have been calling him Canton for a long time. Oh. And then of course Black Twitter's like, we're gonna mess your name up. That's how you know we love you. Right. Like somebody said, the reason that Cool would call us sinners is because they knew he was going to add an S.
Anyway,
right? We was going to make it S like Kroger's. Just go ahead and put an S on there now.
And Dixie's,
right?
So, yeah. So I mean, listen. So much goodness, and not the least of which piece of goodness was that Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong did not.
That's the other thing. Yeah, and Phil, actually, you're almost right. It's not Walmart's, it's Walmart's with a K.
Yeah, Walmart's.
Yeah. Yes. But yeah, Timothy. Oh, and I love us too, because the biggest microaggression that most Black people experience, and all people of color, is mispronouncing your name. You know, they can't call you, Vivek, just to pick a name. And so now they say, can I call you, Vi? No, it's not my name. So the things that we have started calling Timothy Shamalama Ding Dong, Lil Timmy, Lil Ting Ting, all the things, We're not saying your name right.
It is awesome. And along the similar lines, I don't know if you saw this, because I didn't even know who it was at first, but apparently Jack Harlow has come out with a new album.
Yes. And you know what's funny is I actually liked, so I don't really do Jack Harlow alone, but I've liked some of his features, because I think he had a feature with Jungkook from BTS, and he had a feature with Lil Nas X on Industry Baby, which was a great feature.
Okay, yeah. Was that the one in the jail?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I didn't know who he was at the time, but I remember there was a feature with some little white guy.
Right. And so if you don't know, his latest album is called Monica. And if you know the joke that a lot of white, especially like there's a couple of white foreign, like Irish or European comedians that said they thought people were calling them Monica when they came to America, because, if you slow it down, Monica. Right.
I've heard that before.
Right. And so for him to name his album Monica, boy, I see you. It's not funny.
Right.
I see what you try to do.
But you know what was funny? All of the nicknames they were giving Jack Harlow off of that album cover.
Charlie Kirk Franklin.
I mean, most definitely not.
Right.
Just Talcum X. I mean, so many different. It was hundreds of names. And like I said, I saw the post and I just saw this white guy and I was like, I don't even know who that is. And I'm not gonna front that the Whips and Chains song. I don't even know what it's called, but that's a bop.
The Vanilla song, something about being vanilla. Yeah.
Yeah, Vanilla Baby. Da like Skrilla Baby.
He's not common. He's frequently occurring.
Lord. Oh, so they went in, and that was another thing that gave me joy, because I didn't. It was 30 minutes. I was scrolling 30 minutes looking, and there were some duplicates, but they just kept going. It was
right, because we're super creative, and that's another thing. Is like
Luca Vandross.
What? Luca Vandross. Yes. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna laugh at you. We will clown you when you deserve to be
have fun. And that was great. So
but
do you have anything else?
Just again in general, I'm loving when you mentioned, like, we're not doing this no more. We're not playing with y'all no more. And the civility veneer that Black America has worn in an effort to protect itself, but also in an effort to be civil, to be conciliatory, whatever. Yeah, that's thinning day by day. And I'm seeing more and more like passive aggressive, micro aggressive white people get cussed the fuck out online. And for like sometimes for like small offenses. I've seen people be like, well, I'm just saying, as a white person, ain't nobody ask you. Everybody be pulling out like saying, I don't remember asking you a
goddamn thing.
And over again, and it's beautiful. And like there's a photographer right now that found out that 2 different white women were taking his pictures from his Instagram and painting them, like using the picture as inspiration for a painting, and then selling the paintings for like $1,300. Talking about one-of-a-kind originals, blah, blah, blah. So now he's trying to sue them. And now they're online talking about he's bullying, harassing, and blah, blah, blah. He's not bullying, harassing anybody.
You stole his art.
He's got side by sides where all they've really done is taken, like, you use like that a paint knife to make like thick strokes.
Yeah,
They
thick, broad
paint
strokes.
knifed his photography. It's 1-to-1. You can easily see it.
So on that same topic, it's crazy that you bring this up at the end of the show. That happened to my uncle.
Really?
My uncle had a picture, Uncle Kirky. He had a picture taken at he may have been at Martha's Vineyard because they summered at Martha's Vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a picture. It got posted somewhere somehow, and somebody did exactly what you said, and they painted over it. And I knew it was, because bold colors, it doesn't look like, it's not like a painting to look human. It's a painting to look abstract, but it's clearly him.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it was him because it was all crazy colored. And then one day he said, "Hey nephew, take a look at this. What do you think?" And I was like, "That's you." Because he showed me the regular picture and then he showed me the thing. And I was like, wait, I've seen that all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally have an ancestor. If you go to walmart.com right now, you can purchase a picture of my ancestor.
Wow.
And nobody in our family is getting anything from it.
I've seen that several times with Walmart, where they will take artwork from somebody and just use it. And if you haven't gotten a trademark, copyright, or whatever, they will absolutely take family photos, whatever. If you have ever had pictures, developed or whatever at Walmart, they got copies of that. And sometimes they just use whatever. I've seen people do like artwork and stuff and see that artwork for sale in Walmart because they'll have their shoppers, whatever, go out, snap a shot of it and then screen it and then put it in their stores as abstract art or whatever, picture flowers, whatever it might be. But they don't pay nobody.
And in this instance, it was because he was photographed during the era of the Texas slave narratives. And so it's a really, 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 really old photo. And the photographer who took it, obviously a white man, took this picture and just put it. And so eventually, I guess it passed into the public domain after how many years? And that's what it was. And so Walmart got it. And he's I think he's like sitting on the porch or sitting on a fence of a little, probably like a sharecropper's shack. And he's just kind of sitting there. And it's like, wow, that's literally our family member, which is crazy.
And shout out to multiple creators from Asian communities for saying all the quiet parts out loud and reminding other Asian communities that you still ain't white and you need to stop trying. Like, they're slowly coming around to realizing what we tried to tell them, 5-6 years ago, is like, y'all, it ain't gonna go the way you think it is. And now and I will say, I think the creators that I follow that are like loud about this have always been loud about it, but now we're saying, we freaking told you, so stop trying to approximate whiteness because it's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen.
And why would you want that? Because like, you don't have enough mayonnaise in your life. Like, what's over there? And so I think what I'm seeing is a gradual realization throughout all communities of color that, one, we have more in common than we have apart. Matter of fact, I did my first panel at Atlanta Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo. I did my panel Soul to Soul about South Korea and Black people, which got rave reviews. But also more people recognizing that and more people realizing that white folks really are the global minority. And there's nothing special about any aspect of their culture. And when I say white, I'm really talking white Brits, white Americans, because Irish has a culture, Italians have a culture, Spanish has a culture, but that poor Xerox copy of white American, no, don't be like them. Ain't nothing over there. Come be like us. Come enjoy this spot in the diaspora.
Asian people, y'all like spices way more than them people you chasing.
Right.
Way more.
Yeah.
Y'all
and shout out to Mexico too for saying whatever and helping out Cuba and getting oil to them.
Well, and Russia is doing it too.
Oh, I didn't hear. When did Russia start?
Oh, Russia is sending oil directly to Cuba.
Nice.
Because what you gonna do, Trump? You trying to send all your ships from Asia over to the Persian Gulf? Guess what? That's not gonna work for you, my boy.
It's not gonna work at all. And he is doing, the way he melts down in like every other sentence. I don't need anybody, but I called them and they said they wasn't coming. But that's fine because I don't need nobody. But I'm asking. A lot of folks said they're about to show up. They said they're gonna pull up, but then I don't know because they all did rejected me. But that's fine because we don't need nobody. That's how his speech sounds.
Well,
That's almost verbatim.
somebody posted a piece of content with, show me two speeches that give the same energy. And the first speech was what you just did. They said they're coming, but I don't care if they're coming. And then it was Dave Chappelle, where he was like, what? We got the coalition of the willing. We got African Bambaataa, the Zulu Nation. we got some Transformers.
That is pretty much what it sounds like.
It's just like George Bush when he was talking about the coalition of the willing, and it was like Vanuatu.
But at least he had people.
He did have people.
Right. My favorite meme that I saw was it said Trump asking Germany, will you come help me? And Germany saying, what's 5 + 4? And then Trump saying 9. Exactly. Well, when that's Japan seeing PS2s.
Not the PS2.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow. And probably not even the real PS2s, probably the Soldier Boy fake PS2. They got Atari games on them built in.
Right. That's awesome. That is awesome. Not sending PS2s.
Yeah.
I love us. We are silly. I love about Sharpies. Mm-hmm.
Yes, all of the Sharpies. Thank you so much, Sharpies, for another wonderful day. I want to remind you to go on ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It really helps to promote the show and get that algorithm going. We have great engagement. You all are wonderful on the comments. We love you for talking and sharing and being a part of the Steel Sharp and Steel family. And so with that, I will say I am Luther Vandross.
And I am coming down off my high.
Because you got high. Because you got high. Because you got high. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.